My beloved child, precious one of my heart, I need you to stop everything you are doing right now and listen with the entirety of your being. What I'm about to tell you is not symbolic language or spiritual metaphor. This is divine reality unfolding in your life at this very moment. As you hear these words, one of my mighty angels has already been dispatched from the throne room of heaven and is traveling toward your home with a specific assignment concerning your destiny. Do not let doubt creep into your mind. Do not allow skepticism to steal this moment of divine intervention. Do not permit the noise of your circumstances to drown out the sound of heaven moving on your behalf. Every word I am about to speak has been crafted with supernatural love and divine purpose, written specifically for this appointed time in your journey. Stay present, dear one. Stay focused, for what you are about to discover will change everything you thought you knew about how I work in your life, and the incredible lengths I will go to demonstrate my love for you. My beloved child, at this very moment in the throne room of heaven, I have called forth one of my most trusted messenger angels and given him a commission that will alter the trajectory of your life forever. This is not an ordinary angel going about routine heavenly business. This is a specially chosen warrior of light who has been handpicked for the unique mission of your breakthrough. His name is Raphael, which means God heals, and he carries within his very essence the power to restore what has been broken in your life. He has stood in my presence, received direct instructions from my lips, and been anointed with holy oil that flows from the altar of heaven. The assignment I have given him is written on a scroll sealed with my personal signet ring, and its contents will astound you when they begin to unfold. I have chosen this particular angel because of his experience with impossible situations, his expertise in last-minute rescues, and his faithfulness in delivering exactly what I promise when I promise it. He was present at the walls of Jericho when they fell. He assisted in the deliverance of Daniel from the lion's den, and he fought alongside Michael when Satan was cast out of heaven. This is no novice in spiritual warfare. This is a seasoned commander of heaven's armies. The scroll he carries contains specific instructions about the miracle I am about to perform in your life, the blessing I am about to release over your circumstances, and the breakthrough I am about to manifest in your situation. Every detail has been carefully planned, every timing precisely calculated, every outcome divinely guaranteed. What seems impossible to you is just another assignment to him. As Raphael departed from my throne, all of heaven watched in anticipation. The other angels stood at attention, knowing they were witnessing a moment of divine intervention that would echo through eternity. The elders around my throne began to worship as they saw my love for you displayed in such tangible form. Even the creatures that cry, "Holy, holy, holy," paused to witness this demonstration of my faithfulness to one of my children. He travels not with human speed or earthly limitations, but with the velocity of heaven itself. Distance means nothing to him. Obstacles cannot slow him down, and opposition cannot prevent his arrival. He moves through dimensions unseen by human eyes, operates in realms unknown to natural understanding, and carries authority that demons cannot resist. As he journeys toward your home, he is accompanied by a host of ministering spirits who will prepare the atmosphere for his arrival. They are cleansing the spiritual environment, binding every force of darkness, and creating a holy habitation where my glory can rest. Your home is being consecrated for a divine visitation that will leave nothing unchanged. The angel carries with him the fragrance of heaven, the power of my presence, and the authority of my name. When he arrives, you may not see him with your natural eyes, but your spirit will sense the shift in atmosphere. You may not hear him with your physical ears, but your heart will recognize the sound of heaven coming to earth. This visitation is not based on your worthiness, precious child, but on my faithfulness. It is not because you have prayed the perfect prayer or lived the perfect life, but because this is your appointed time for divine intervention. It is not because you have earned it, but because I have chosen to give it as a gift of my grace. Precious child, As Raphael travels through the heavenly realms toward your earthly dwelling, he is navigating through dimensions that exist beyond human comprehension. He moves through the third heaven where my throne resides, passes through the second heaven where spiritual battles rage, and approaches the first heaven that hovers just above your natural world. In the third heaven, he was blessed by the archangels who serve continually before my throne. Michael, the warrior, blessed him with victory over every demonic force that might try to interfere with his mission. Gabriel, the messenger, blessed him with clarity of communication so that my words would be perfectly delivered to your spirit. Uriel, the light-bearer, blessed him with illumination to penetrate any darkness that has clouded your understanding. As he descended through the second heaven, every principality and power that has been assigned against your life trembled at his approach. The demons that have been whispering lies about your future fled in terror. The spirits that have been blocking your breakthrough scattered like leaves before a mighty wind. The forces that have been delaying your destiny found themselves powerless to hinder his advance. He carries with him not only the scroll of your breakthrough, but also vials of healing oil from the altar of heaven, bottles of living water from the river that flows from my throne, and fragments of manna from the bread of angels. These are not symbolic gifts, but actual substances from heaven that will manifest in your life as supernatural provision, divine healing, and spiritual nourishment. The journey that would take human messengers days or weeks to complete, Raphael accomplishes in moments. Time bends to accommodate his mission, space compresses to speed his arrival, and all of creation recognizes the authority he carries as my personal emissary to your situation. As he travels, he is guarded by a company of warrior angels who ensure that no force of hell can intercept his mission or corrupt his message. These guardians form a protective phalanx around him, their swords drawn, and their shields raised against any attempt to prevent this divine delivery from reaching its intended destination. The closer he gets to your location, the more the spiritual atmosphere begins to shift in your favor. Doors that have been locked begin to loosen. Hearts that have been hardened begin to soften. Circumstances that have been impossible begin to bend toward possibility. This is not coincidence. This is the advance work of heaven preparing for angelic intervention. He also carries the prayers you have prayed over the years, beloved child. Every tear you have cried, every desperate plea you have whispered, every moment you have called upon my name has been collected and is now returning to you as answered prayer. What you thought went unheard has been carefully preserved and is about to be delivered back to you as tangible breakthrough. The angel moves with purpose that cannot be deterred, mission that cannot be aborted, and authority that cannot be challenged. He has been given a direct mandate from my throne, and all of heaven stands behind his assignment. What I have sent him to accomplish will be accomplished. What I have commissioned him to deliver will be delivered. What I have empowered him to change will be changed. As he approaches the final phase of his journey, the very air around your home begins to shimmer with holy presence. The atmosphere becomes charged with divine electricity. The invisible realm prepares to break through into visible reality. Heaven is about to touch earth in the most personal and powerful way possible. My beloved child, even before Raphael arrives at your doorstep, I am sending advanced teams of ministering spirits to prepare your home for this divine visitation. Your dwelling place is being transformed from an ordinary residence into a holy sanctuary, where heaven and earth will meet in powerful encounter. The cleansing angels are moving through every room, every corner, every space within your home, removing every trace of spiritual contamination that has accumulated over time. They are washing away the residue of past hurts, the stains of unforgiveness, the dust of disappointment. What has felt heavy in your home will become light. What has felt dark will become bright. What has felt oppressive will become liberating. Angels of peace are taking their positions at every entrance, every window, every access point to your home. They are creating a perimeter of protection that no force of darkness can penetrate. From this moment forward, your home becomes a refuge of safety, a haven of rest, a fortress of strength where my presence dwells in fullness. The worship angels are tuning the spiritual atmosphere of your home to the frequency of heaven. They are adjusting the spiritual climate so that praise flows more easily, prayer becomes more powerful, and my presence becomes more tangible. You will notice that worship feels different in your home now, that prayer carries more authority, that the very air seems to vibrate with holy presence. I am also dispatching healing angels to minister restoration to every area of your home that has been marked by pain. The room where you cried yourself to sleep will be filled with comfort. The space where you felt alone will be saturated with my companionship. The place where you experienced heartbreak will overflow with my love. Financial blessing angels are positioning themselves around your home to release supernatural provision. They are opening channels of income you never expected, creating opportunities for increase you never imagined, and establishing streams of blessing that will flow into your household from multiple sources. Your home is being marked for prosperity, designated for abundance, and prepared for overflow. The guardian angels assigned to protect your family are receiving enhanced authority and increased power. They are being equipped with new weapons, given expanded territory, and authorized to engage any threat with heaven's full backing. Your family will walk in unprecedented protection, divine covering, and supernatural security. Angels of wisdom are installing spiritual sensitivity throughout your home that will help you discern my voice more clearly, recognize my leading more quickly, and respond to my promptings more accurately. Your home is becoming a place of revelation where I will speak to you in dreams, visions, and supernatural encounters. Miracle-working angels are setting up supernatural laboratories in the unseen realm of your home, where impossibilities will be transformed into inevitabilities. What seems hopeless in your situation is about to encounter the creative power of heaven. What appears permanent in your problems is about to meet the transforming force of my glory. The atmosphere of your home is being charged with anticipation, pregnant with possibility, and saturated with divine expectation. Even your family members who may not yet know me will sense that something significant is happening, that change is in the air, that breakthrough is approaching. This preparation is not just for Raphael's immediate visit, precious child. I am establishing your home as a permanent dwelling place of my presence, a continuous sanctuary of my glory, a perpetual center of my activity in your life. What begins with this angelic visitation will continue as an ongoing reality of heaven touching earth in your daily experience. When Raphael arrives, he will find everything perfectly prepared for the delivery of his message, the fulfillment of his mission, and the manifestation of my miracle in your life. Precious child, Raphael has now arrived at your home, and as his feet touch the ground around your dwelling place, the very earth responds to the authority of heaven he carries. Though you may not see him with your natural eyes, the supernatural realm has suddenly shifted into high gear around your life. He stands at your door, not as a visitor requesting permission to enter, but as my official representative carrying divine authority to implement heaven's will in your earthly circumstances. The scroll he carries bears my personal seal, and as he breaks it open, the words written within begin to create the reality they describe. This is not merely information being delivered. This is divine decree being activated, heavenly legislation being enacted, eternal truth being manifested in temporal circumstances. What was written in heaven is now being established on earth through the ministry of this angelic messenger. He speaks with my voice, acts with my authority, and moves with my power. When he commands, demons must obey. When he declares, circumstances must align. When he releases, what has been bound must be set free. He is not hoping things will change in your life. He is commanding them to change, and they have no choice but to respond to the authority of heaven he represents. The first thing Raphael does is establish a throne room atmosphere in your home where my presence can rest comfortably. He is creating a space where heaven feels at home on earth, where the supernatural becomes natural, where miracles become commonplace. Your home is being transformed into an embassy of heaven, a piece of my kingdom planted in the middle of your earthly existence. He carries with him keys that unlock every door that has been closed in your life. Financial doors that seemed permanently shut are being opened. Relational doors that appeared hopelessly blocked are being cleared. Career doors that looked impossibly sealed are being unbarred. Health doors that felt forever locked are being thrown wide. These are not ordinary keys. These are keys of authority that cannot be duplicated by man or hindered by hell. The angel also bears healing virtue that flows from my throne room directly into every area of your need. Physical ailments that have plagued your body are being touched by supernatural restoration. Emotional wounds that have tormented your soul are being washed by divine comfort. Mental battles that have confused your thoughts are being settled by heavenly peace. This healing is not gradual. It is immediate and complete. Raphael is releasing financial breakthrough over your household that will amaze you with its suddenness and overwhelm you with its abundance. Debts that seemed permanent are being canceled. Income streams that appeared impossible are being opened. Investments that looked hopeless are being blessed. Provision that felt unreachable is being delivered. The angel carries heaven's economy in his hands, and he is pouring it out upon your life. He is also establishing divine connections that will revolutionize your relationships and accelerate your destiny. The right people are being divinely positioned to intersect with your path. Hearts are being prepared to receive you. Doors are being opened to welcome you. Opportunities are being created to advance you. The angel is weaving a network of relationships that will support your calling and amplify your impact. But perhaps most importantly, precious child, Raphael is delivering a personal message from me to you. Words that I have spoken specifically about your situation. Promises that I have made concerning your future. Declarations that I have decreed over your destiny. These words carry creative power that will literally reshape your reality and transform your circumstances from the inside out. As the angel moves through your home, every room is being marked with my presence. Every space is being consecrated for my purposes. Every area is being designated for my glory. What has been ordinary is becoming extraordinary. What has been natural is becoming supernatural. What has been earthly is becoming heavenly. My beloved child, at this moment Raphael is unrolling the scroll that contains the specific details of the breakthrough I have designed exclusively for your situation. This scroll was written before the foundation of the world, sealed until this appointed time, and is now being opened because the fullness of time has come for its contents to be manifested in your life. The first thing written on this scroll is the declaration of your complete freedom from every limitation that has held you captive. The financial bondage that has restricted your potential, it is broken today. The relational barriers that have isolated your heart, they are shattered now. The physical ailments that have weakened your body, they are healed immediately. The mental confusion that has clouded your thinking, it is cleared instantly. The scroll reveals that I am releasing upon your life a supernatural acceleration that will compress years of progress into months of manifestation. What normally takes decades to develop will happen in seasons. What usually requires years to establish will be accomplished in moments. What typically demands generations to achieve will be completed in your lifetime. Written in golden letters across the middle of the scroll is your new identity declaration. Beloved heir of the King, carrier of divine DNA, possessor of kingdom authority, walking miracle of grace, living testimony of faithfulness. This is not who you are becoming. This is who you already are, and the scroll is simply revealing what heaven has always known about you. The scroll also contains the blueprint for your divine destiny, showing you glimpses of the incredible future I have prepared for your life. You will see yourself walking in levels of influence you never imagined possible, operating in dimensions of authority you never thought you could handle, and impacting spheres of society you never dreamed you could reach. Financial abundance flows like a river through the pages of this scroll, revealing streams of income that will pour into your life from sources both expected and unexpected. business opportunities that will multiply your resources, investment possibilities that will expand your wealth, and creative ideas that will generate ongoing prosperity are all detailed within its sacred pages. The scroll reveals divine connections that will transform your relationships and accelerate your purpose. It shows you the faces of people who will become spiritual fathers and mothers to you, sons and daughters who will look to you for guidance, and peer relationships that will provide mutual support and encouragement. These are not casual acquaintances, but covenant connections ordained by heaven. Miraculous healings are documented throughout this scroll, detailing not only your own restoration, but also the healing virtue that will flow through your life to bring wholeness to others. You will become a carrier of my healing power, a vessel of my restoration grace, a conduit of my miracle-working strength. The scroll also contains warnings about potential pitfalls and divine strategies for avoiding them. It shows you how to recognize counterfeit opportunities, how to discern authentic relationships from deceptive ones, and how to distinguish between my voice and the voice of the enemy. This wisdom will protect you from making costly mistakes and guide you into divine alignment. Ministry assignments are written across several pages, showing you the specific ways I will use your life to impact others for my kingdom. These are not burdensome obligations, but joyful opportunities to partner with me in touching lives, changing destinies, and advancing my purposes on earth. But the most beautiful section of the scroll, Precious Child, is the part that describes my personal love for you. Page after page details the depths of my affection, the intensity of my care, and the permanence of my commitment to your well-being. Reading these words will heal every wound of rejection, answer every question of worth, and settle every doubt about your significance. As Raphael reads from this scroll, the very words he speaks begin to create the reality they describe. This is not information being shared. This is divine legislation being enacted, heavenly truth being established, eternal promises being manifested in temporal circumstances. Precious child, as Raphael continues his mission, he has summoned a company of provision angels who are now taking their positions around your home, your workplace, and every location where your financial needs exist. These are not ordinary angels. These are specialists in supernatural supply, experts in divine abundance, and masters of miraculous provision. The chief provision angel carries keys to heaven's treasury and has been authorized to release resources that have been stored up for such a time as this. Bank accounts in heaven's economy that have been accumulating interest with your name on them are now being transferred to your earthly reality. What looked like lack was actually preparation for abundance. What felt like shortage was positioning for overflow. Financial miracle angels are positioning themselves at every institution where you owe money, every place where you need resources, every location where provision must manifest. They are touching the hearts of creditors, softening the demands of lenders, and creating supernatural favor with everyone who holds your financial future in their hands. I am dispatching business angels to create opportunities for income that you never could have imagined. New streams of revenue are being opened, creative ideas for profit are being downloaded into your mind, and connections that will lead to financial breakthrough are being orchestrated by heaven. You will be amazed at how quickly opportunities begin presenting themselves. Debt cancellation angels are moving through your financial records, marking debts for supernatural elimination and creating pathways for miraculous debt forgiveness. What seems like permanent financial obligation is about to encounter the debt-canceling power of my grace. Bills that have burdened you for years will be settled by my supernatural intervention. The angel of inheritance is researching your spiritual bloodline to release resources that have been held in trust for such a time as this. Not only will your natural inheritance be blessed, but your spiritual inheritance as a child of the King is being activated. Wealth that has been stored in heaven is being prepared for earthly manifestation. Favor angels are preceding you to every financial institution, every potential employer, every business contact you will encounter. They are preparing hearts to receive you with unusual kindness, minds to consider your requests with supernatural openness, and decision-makers to respond to your needs with divine generosity. Investment angels are identifying opportunities that will multiply your resources beyond your wildest dreams. They are guiding your financial decisions, protecting your investments from loss, and ensuring that every seed you plant in financial soil will produce an abundant harvest. Your money will work harder for you than you could ever work for it. Creative angels are downloading ideas into your spirit that will generate income through your unique gifts and talents. The abilities I have placed within you are about to become sources of supernatural provision. What you do naturally will become financially profitable, and what brings you joy will bring you income. Emergency provision angels are standing ready to respond instantly to any urgent financial need that may arise. You will never again face a financial crisis without immediate heavenly intervention. Emergency funds will appear from unexpected sources. Emergency solutions will present themselves at exactly the right moment, and emergency provision will flow faster than emergency needs can develop. These provision angels work in perfect coordination with each other and in absolute alignment with my will for your financial future. They cannot be bribed by the enemy, confused by circumstances, or deterred by opposition. When I send them to provide, provision must manifest. When I assign them to supply, abundance must appear. The atmosphere of lack that has surrounded your finances is being displaced by an atmosphere of abundance. The spirit of poverty that has harassed your household is being bound and removed. The mindset of limitation that has restricted your thinking is being replaced with an expectation of overflow. Your home is being marked as a place where financial miracles happen regularly, where provision appears supernaturally, and where abundance flows consistently. From this day forward, your household will be known in heaven as a testimony of my faithfulness in financial provision. My beloved child Raphael has now released healing angels throughout every room of your home, and they are saturating the atmosphere with virtue that flows directly from my throne. This is not ordinary healing energy. This is the same power that raised Christ from the dead, that opened blind eyes and made the lame walk, that created something from nothing and life from death. The angel of physical healing is moving through your home with oil from the tree of life, water from the river of God, and light from the glory of my presence. Every cell in your body is being touched by supernatural restoration. Every system is being aligned with divine design. Every organ is being renewed to function according to heavenly perfection. Emotional healing angels are ministering to every wound in your heart that has been caused by rejection, betrayal, disappointment, or loss. The pain that has lived in your chest for years is being dissolved by supernatural comfort. The ache that has tormented your soul is being soothed by divine love. The emptiness that has echoed in your spirit is being filled with heavenly presence. Mental healing angels are bringing clarity to every area of confusion in your thoughts, peace to every battle in your mind, and wisdom to every decision you must make. The anxiety that has plagued your thinking is being replaced by perfect peace. The depression that has clouded your perspective is being lifted by supernatural joy. The fear that has paralyzed your progress is being cast out by perfect love. Relationship healing angels are working to restore every broken connection in your life that can be redeemed. Hearts that have been hardened against you are being softened. Misunderstandings that have created division are being clarified. Offenses that have built walls are being removed. Where restoration is not possible, you will be given grace to move forward without bitterness. Generational healing angels are breaking every pattern of sickness, every cycle of dysfunction, and every tradition of limitation that has been passed down through your family line. The genetic predispositions that have threatened your health are being overruled by divine DNA. The family curses that have operated for generations are being broken forever. Inner child healing angels are ministering to every area of your childhood that was wounded by trauma, neglect, abuse, or abandonment. The little boy or girl inside you who felt unsafe is being surrounded by perfect protection. The child who felt unloved is being embraced by unconditional acceptance. The young person who felt worthless is being convinced of their incredible value. Memory healing angels are touching every painful recollection that has tormented your peace and replacing the sting of remembrance with the sweetness of redemption. You will still remember what happened, but the emotional charge will be removed. The memories will become testimonies of my faithfulness rather than sources of ongoing pain. The healing virtue flowing through your home is also extending to your family members, your friends who visit, and even strangers who enter your space. Your home is becoming a place where people experience supernatural healing simply by being present. Visitors will leave feeling better than when they arrived, often without understanding why. This healing is not gradual, it is immediate and complete. It is not partial, it is total and permanent. It is not temporary, it is eternal and irreversible. What I heal stays healed. What I restore remains whole. What I make new never becomes old again. The atmosphere of sickness that may have hovered over your home is being displaced by an atmosphere of health. The spirit of infirmity that may have harassed your household is being bound and removed. The expectation of decline that may have influenced your thinking is being replaced with an anticipation of strength and vitality. Your home is being established as a healing center where miracles happen regularly, where restoration flows freely, and where wholeness is the normal experience. From this day forward, your dwelling will be known in heaven as a place where healing virtue rests and operates continuously. Precious child, as these powerful blessings begin to manifest in your life through angelic ministry, Raphael brings with him an urgent warning from my throne about the counterfeits and deceptions that the enemy will try to present to distract you from the authentic work I am doing. Satan cannot create genuine miracles, but he is a master of imitation and will attempt to confuse you with false signs and lying wonders. The first deception the enemy will attempt is spiritual pride, convincing you that these blessings are evidence of your superior spirituality rather than manifestations of my grace. He will whisper that you have somehow earned this favor, that you are more deserving than others, that you have achieved a higher level of faith. But remember, every good gift comes from above, and all glory belongs to me alone. The second trap he will set is the temptation to become blessing-focused rather than blesser-focused. He will try to shift your attention from relationship with me to fascination with what I can do for you. The miracles, provision, and healing are expressions of my love, not substitutes for my presence. Never let my gifts become more important to you than my person. Beware of false angels of light who may appear with messages that contradict my word or lead you away from sound doctrine. Not every supernatural experience comes from my throne, and not every spiritual encounter carries my endorsement. Test every spirit, examine every revelation, and measure every experience against the truth of Scripture. The enemy will also attempt to create counterfeit relationships that appear to be divine connections, but are actually designed to drain your energy, compromise your values, or divert you from your calling. True covenant relationships will always point you toward me, challenge you to grow in holiness, and support your divine assignment. Watch for the deception of false urgency that pressures you to make quick decisions without seeking my wisdom. The enemy loves to create artificial deadlines that force you to act in your flesh rather than wait for my timing. Remember, my plans for you are not rushed, and authentic divine opportunities do not require you to abandon wisdom. Be alert to the trap of spiritual comparison that measures your breakthrough against others' experiences and either inflates your ego or deflates your gratitude. Your journey with me is unique, your timing is perfect, and your portion is exactly what you need. Never judge my love for others by their circumstances, or my love for you by your blessings. The enemy will try to convince you that maintaining these blessings requires perfect performance on your part. He will suggest that one mistake could cause you to lose my favor, that any failure could cost you these benefits. But my gifts are not based on your behavior. They are based on my character, and my character never changes. Guard against the deception of self-reliance that slowly convinces you that you no longer need daily dependence on me. Success can be more dangerous than failure if it leads to independence from your source. Prosperity can be more threatening than poverty if it breeds spiritual complacency. Be wary of those who will try to exploit your testimony for their own gain or manipulate your story for their own purposes. Your breakthrough is meant to bring glory to me and hope to others, not to become a platform for self-promotion or a commodity for exploitation. Stay connected to faithful believers who will speak truth into your life, even when it's difficult to hear. Surround yourself with people who love you enough to correct you, wise enough to counsel you, and spiritual enough to discern when you might be drifting from truth. The greatest protection against deception, beloved child, is to remain humble, stay in my word, maintain fellowship with authentic believers, and keep your heart tender toward my voice. When you walk in humility and truth, the enemy's lies become obvious and his traps become visible. Remember that the angel I have sent to you is accompanied by my Spirit of truth, who will guide you into all truth and help you discern between the authentic and the counterfeit. Trust his leading, follow his guidance, and you will never be deceived by the enemy's imitations. My beloved child, as Raphael completes his primary mission, something permanent and powerful is being established in your dwelling place. Your home is being transformed into a gateway of heaven, a place where the supernatural realm regularly intersects with the natural world, where my presence feels as real as the furniture you can touch, where miracles become as common as your daily meals. This is not a temporary visitation, but a permanent installation. I am establishing your home as a Bethel, a house of God where heaven's activity on earth will be centered in your life. Like Jacob's ladder, your home will become a place where angels ascend and descend, where heavenly messages are received, and where divine encounters become ordinary experiences. The threshold of your home has been marked with the blood of protection, ensuring that no evil can cross into this sacred space without my permission. What enters your home will be filtered through my love. What dwells in your home will be blessed by my presence, and what leaves your home will carry the fragrance of heaven into the world. Every room in your house is being designated for specific spiritual purposes. Your bedroom becomes a place of divine rest where I will speak to you in dreams and visions. Your kitchen becomes a center of provision where supernatural multiplication will occur. Your living room becomes a sanctuary of fellowship where my presence will be tangibly felt. Your workspace becomes a place of divine creativity where heaven's ideas will be downloaded. I am installing spiritual antennae throughout your home that will make you more sensitive to my voice, more aware of my presence, and more attuned to my activity in your life. You will begin to hear me speak in ways you never have before, see me move in ways you never noticed, and feel me near in ways you never experienced. Your home is becoming a distribution center for my blessings to flow not only to your family, but to everyone who enters your space. Visitors will leave with more hope than they arrived with. Neighbors will be touched by the peace that emanates from your dwelling, and delivery workers will be blessed simply by stepping onto your property. The atmosphere of heaven is being permanently established in your home, creating an environment where faith comes easily, where prayer flows naturally, where worship rises spontaneously, and where my presence rests comfortably. Your home will feel different to you and to everyone who enters it. This gateway status means that resources from heaven's unlimited storehouse will have direct access to your earthly needs. Provision will flow more freely, healing will manifest more readily, guidance will come more clearly, and blessing will appear more frequently. Your home has been connected to heaven's supply line. Angels have been assigned as permanent residents in your home, not just visitors. Guardian angels will maintain constant watch. Provision angels will ensure continuous supply. Healing angels will minister ongoing restoration, and worship angels will sustain an atmosphere of praise. You are never alone in your home. You are surrounded by heavenly hosts. Your home is also becoming a place of refuge for others who are seeking me. I will send people to your door who need to experience my love, hear my voice, or witness my power. Your home will become a lighthouse in a dark world, a place where lost souls find direction and broken hearts find healing. The territorial authority over your home has been expanded to include not just your physical property, but the spiritual atmosphere over your entire neighborhood. Your home becomes a center of spiritual influence that pushes back darkness and advances light in your community. This transformation requires your cooperation, precious child. Keep your home clean not just physically but spiritually. Fill it with my word, saturate it with praise, dedicate it to my purposes, and welcome my presence daily. What I have established, you must maintain through faithful stewardship. Your home is no longer just a place where you live. It is a place where heaven dwells, where miracles happen, where lives are changed, and where my kingdom advances one heart at a time. Precious child, as Raphael prepares for the final phase of his mission, he has been authorized to impart spiritual gifts that will equip you for the new level of ministry and influence you are entering. These are not natural talents or learned skills. These are supernatural abilities that flow directly from my spirit, through his hands, into your spirit. The first gift he is imparting is the gift of prophetic insight that will allow you to see beyond the surface of situations and discern the spiritual dynamics at work. You will begin to perceive things that are hidden from natural understanding, recognize patterns that others miss, and understand the deeper meaning behind circumstances and encounters. The gift of divine wisdom is being downloaded into your mind, giving you understanding that transcends your education and knowledge that exceeds your experience. You will know things you were never taught, understand concepts you never studied, and solve problems with solutions that seem to come from nowhere but actually flow from my throne. Raphael is also releasing the gift of supernatural faith that will enable you to believe for impossible things with unshakable confidence. This is not natural optimism or positive thinking. This is God-given certainty that what he has promised will come to pass regardless of how circumstances appear. The gift of healing virtue is being deposited in your hands, your voice, and your very presence. You will become a carrier of my healing power, able to minister restoration to physical ailments, emotional wounds, and spiritual bondages. People will experience healing simply by being in your presence or hearing your prayers. A special anointing for financial breakthrough is being placed upon your life, giving you supernatural insight into investments, business opportunities, and wealth-building strategies. You will have unusual favor with financial institutions, extraordinary success with money-making ventures, and supernatural multiplication of resources. The gift of divine connections is being activated in your life, creating an unusual ability to attract the right people at the right time for the right purposes. You will find yourself in strategic relationships that accelerate your destiny, open doors to new opportunities, and provide support for your divine assignments. Raphael is imparting the gift of supernatural protection that will surround you with an invisible shield against every attack of the enemy. You will walk through dangerous situations unharmed, navigate treacherous circumstances unscathed, and emerge from battles victorious and undefeated. The gift of creative miracles is being placed within your spirit, enabling you to speak things into existence, command change in impossible situations, and manifest provision from nothing. You will learn to operate in the same creative power that spoke the universe into being. A special grace for leadership is being deposited in your character, preparing you to guide others with wisdom, influence people with integrity, and build organizations that reflect heavenly principles. You will find that people naturally look to you for direction and trust your judgment in difficult situations. The gift of intercession is being awakened in your prayer life, giving you unusual burden for others and supernatural effectiveness in standing in the gap. Your prayers will carry unusual weight in heaven, your intercession will move mountains, and your petitions will produce remarkable results. Raphael is also releasing the gift of discernment that will help you distinguish between spirits, recognize truth from deception, and identify authentic opportunities from clever counterfeits. You will develop an internal alarm system that alerts you to danger, and a spiritual radar that detects divine appointments. The gift of supernatural peace is being established in your emotional makeup, giving you the ability to remain calm in chaos, stable in storms, and confident in crisis. This peace will not only bless your own life, but will also flow from you to bring tranquility to turbulent situations and comfort to troubled people. A unique anointing for teaching and communicating is being placed upon your voice and your words. When you speak about me, people will be drawn to listen. When you share my truth, hearts will be open to receive. When you tell your testimony, lives will be transformed by hope. The gift of administration and organization is being developed in your mind, enabling you to manage the increased blessing and expanded responsibility that is coming your way. You will know how to steward resources wisely, oversee projects effectively, and coordinate efforts efficiently. Finally, Raphael is imparting the gift of joy that transcends circumstances, hope that defies logic, and love that conquers fear. These are not emotions but spiritual realities that will sustain you through every season and equip you to minister life to others who are struggling with despair. These gifts are not given for your personal benefit alone, but for the benefit of everyone whose life you will touch. They are tools for kingdom advancement, weapons for spiritual warfare, and resources for reaching the lost, healing the broken, and encouraging the discouraged. As these gifts begin to manifest in your life, beloved child, use them with humility, steward them with wisdom, and deploy them with love. Remember that gifts without character lead to corruption, power without purpose leads to pride, and anointing without accountability leads to deception. The enemy will try to convince you that these gifts make you special or superior to others. Remember that they are not rewards for your righteousness, but resources for serving others. They are not proofs of your perfection, but provisions for your purpose. My beloved child, as Raphael completes his assignment and prepares to return to heaven, he is giving you specific instructions for maintaining ongoing partnership with the angelic realm. This visitation is not a one-time event, but the beginning of a lifestyle of supernatural collaboration between heaven and earth in your daily experience. First, you must understand that angels are not to be worshipped or prayed to. They are fellow servants who worship me and work for my kingdom. Your relationship with them should be one of respectful partnership, not religious reverence. They are your supernatural teammates, not your spiritual mediators. Learn to recognize the signs of angelic presence in your life. You may sense a sudden peace in turbulent situations, experience unexpected help in difficult circumstances, or notice providential timing in crucial moments. These are not coincidences. They are evidences of angelic assistance operating on your behalf. Develop sensitivity to angelic promptings by paying attention to sudden impulses to pray for someone, unexpected urges to take specific actions, or intuitive feelings about directions to take. Angels often communicate through these gentle nudges that seem to come from nowhere, but carry the wisdom of heaven. Maintain an atmosphere in your home and life that is conducive to angelic ministry. Keep your environment clean spiritually through prayer, worship, and obedience to my word. Angels are more active in atmospheres of holiness, faith, and praise than in environments of doubt, sin, and spiritual neglect. Understand that angels are activated by my word being spoken and declared. When you quote scripture, make biblical declarations, or pray according to my promises, you are giving angels legal authority to act on your behalf. Your words of faith become their marching orders. Be aware that your lifestyle affects angelic activity around your life. Persistent sin, willful disobedience, and rebellious attitudes can limit angelic intervention. Not because I love you less, but because angels operate under the laws of righteousness and cannot support what contradicts my character. Learn to partner with angels in spiritual warfare by understanding their different functions and specializations. Some are warriors who fight battles, others are messengers who deliver guidance. Some are providers who arrange supply, and others are healers who minister restoration. Pray specifically according to your need. Practice gratitude for angelic assistance even when you cannot see or feel their presence. Thank me for assigning angels to your life. Express appreciation for their faithful service and acknowledge their role in your breakthroughs and blessings. Gratitude increases heavenly activity. Maintain expectancy for angelic encounters and supernatural assistance in your daily life. Expect angels to arrange divine appointments, create opportunities, provide protection, and supply needs. Your expectation creates an atmosphere where angelic ministry can flourish. Share testimonies of angelic activity with others to encourage their faith and increase their awareness of heavenly assistance. When people hear about my faithfulness through angelic ministry, their hope is strengthened, and their expectation is raised for similar experiences in their own lives. Remember that angels are given assignments for specific seasons and purposes. Some may be with you for a lifetime. Others may be assigned for particular projects or challenges. Do not become dependent on specific angelic personalities, but remain dependent on me as the one who sends them. Be obedient to angelic instructions when they come through dreams, impressions, or circumstances. Angels often guide through opened and closed doors, timely delays, and strategic interruptions. Learn to recognize their guidance and respond quickly to their direction. Understand that angels work best through believers who live in faith, walk in love, and operate in humility. Pride, fear, and unbelief can hinder angelic activity, while faith, love, and humility can increase their effectiveness in your life. Finally, remember that your ultimate relationship is with me, not with angels. They are servants sent to assist you in fulfilling your divine destiny, but I am your Lord, your Savior, and your eternal companion. Never let appreciation for angelic ministry replace devotion to my presence. Precious child, as Raphael prepares to return to the throne room of heaven, he is not ending his ministry in your life, but transitioning it to a new phase of ongoing supernatural support. This angel will now serve as your permanent liaison between heaven and earth, carrying your prayers to my throne and bringing my responses back to your spirit. His departure from your physical location does not mean his departure from your spiritual journey. He has established a permanent connection with your life that transcends physical distance and operates in the realm of the spirit where time and space have no limiting power. You now have direct access to heaven's resources through this angelic partnership. Before leaving, Raphael is establishing communication protocols that will enable you to maintain contact with heaven's assistance network. Your prayers will now carry additional authority because they are endorsed by angelic representation. Your needs will be processed more rapidly because they have heavenly advocacy. Your requests will receive priority attention because they come with angelic endorsement. The angel is also leaving behind a residue of heaven's glory that will remain in your home as a permanent reminder of this divine visitation. This glory will serve as a spiritual atmosphere that attracts my presence, repels demonic interference, and creates an environment where miracles can happen naturally. He has assigned a team of junior angels to remain with you and continue the work he has begun. These angels will monitor your daily needs, protect your family from harm, provide guidance in decisions, and ensure that the breakthroughs he initiated continue to develop and manifest fully in your life. Raphael is returning to heaven with a detailed report of your faithfulness, your heart attitude, and your readiness for greater assignments. This report will influence future angelic assignments to your life and impact the level of heavenly resources that will be allocated to your continued breakthrough and blessing. The scroll he brought from heaven has been left with you in the spiritual realm, and its contents will continue to unfold in your life according to divine timing. Each day will bring new revelations of what is written there, fresh manifestations of what is promised, and additional fulfillments of what is decreed. Your name has been placed on heaven's priority list for angelic intervention, meaning that future needs will receive rapid response. Emergency situations will get immediate attention, and new opportunities will be quickly supported by supernatural assistance. The angel's departure also signals the beginning of your preparation for the next level of divine assignment. This breakthrough was not just for your benefit, but preparation for greater ministry, increased influence, and expanded responsibility in advancing my kingdom on earth. As Raphael ascends back to heaven, he carries with him samples of your praise, fragments of your worship, and echoes of your gratitude. These will be presented before my throne as sweet-smelling incense that will attract even more favor and blessing toward your life. The portal between heaven and your home that was opened during this visitation will remain permanently active, allowing for easy passage of angelic messengers, rapid delivery of heavenly resources, and continuous flow of divine blessing into your earthly circumstances. You will continue to feel the effects of this angelic visitation for months to come, as the changes he initiated work their way through every area of your life. What seemed impossible before his arrival will become inevitable after his ministry. What appeared permanent in your problems will prove temporary in light of his intervention. The enemy will try to convince you that this was all imagination, that nothing really happened, that your circumstances haven't really changed. But the fruit will speak for itself as breakthrough after breakthrough manifests in rapid succession, proving beyond doubt that heaven has indeed intervened in your situation. Other people will begin to notice the change in your countenance, the shift in your circumstances, and the transformation in your atmosphere. They will ask what happened to you, and you will have the joy of testifying about my faithfulness and the reality of angelic ministry in the lives of my children. Remember this day, beloved child. Remember that heaven noticed your need, responded to your cry, and sent supernatural assistance to your situation. Remember that you are not alone, not forgotten, and not without resources. Remember that angels are real, miracles still happen, and I still move heaven and earth for those I love. My beloved child, through this angelic encounter, your identity has been forever transformed from ordinary believer to extraordinary ambassador of heaven. You are no longer just someone who believes in angels. You are someone who has been personally visited by one. You are no longer just someone who hopes for miracles. You are someone who has experienced divine intervention. You are no longer just a citizen of earth. You are a representative of heaven. This new identity comes with incredible privilege and profound responsibility. You now carry within your spirit the authority of one who has been personally commissioned by heaven's messenger. Your words will carry more weight because they flow from direct encounter with divine reality. Your prayers will have more power because they are backed by angelic testimony. As heaven's ambassador, you have been given diplomatic immunity from the attacks of hell. The enemy cannot touch you with the same freedom he once had, because you now carry heavenly credentials that demand respect, even from demonic forces. Your life is covered by international law, the law of heaven that supersedes every earthly authority. You have also been granted access to heaven's embassy on earth, which is wherever you happen to be. Your presence carries the authority to establish heaven's atmosphere in any environment you enter. Meetings become more peaceful when you arrive. Hospitals become more hopeful when you visit. And homes become more harmonious when you enter. This ambassadorial role means that you represent not only your own interests, but the interests of heaven itself. How you live, speak, and conduct yourself reflects on the kingdom you represent. Excellence, integrity, and love are not optional for ambassadors. They are essential qualifications for effective representation. You have been given a heavenly passport that grants you access to supernatural realms and divine experiences that are not available to ordinary believers. Dreams will be more vivid, visions will be more frequent, and spiritual encounters will be more real because you now have diplomatic status in the heavenly realm. Your home has been established as a consulate of heaven where other believers can come to experience the reality of supernatural intervention. People will be drawn to your dwelling not just for fellowship, but for impartation, not just for encouragement, but for breakthrough, not just for prayer, but for miracles. As an ambassador, you have been entrusted with heaven's resources to accomplish heaven's purposes on earth. The financial provision flowing into your life is not just for your comfort, but for kingdom advancement. The healing virtue flowing through your life is not just for your benefit, but for ministering to others. The wisdom flowing into your mind is not just for your decisions, but for counseling those who seek guidance. This identity requires that you maintain regular communication with your home government, heaven itself. Daily prayer is not just spiritual discipline, but diplomatic necessity. Regular worship is not just religious exercise, but embassy protocol. Consistent study of my word is not just personal growth, but professional development. You will find that other ambassadors of heaven will be drawn to your life as divine connections form between those who carry similar authority and anointing. These relationships will provide mutual support, shared resources, and combined influence that multiplies the effectiveness of your individual assignments. Your family members are now protected by diplomatic immunity as well, covered by the same heavenly authority that shields your life. Your children will grow up with unusual favor. Your spouse will experience supernatural blessing, and your household will be marked for divine protection and provision. This new identity also means that you will face higher levels of spiritual warfare as the enemy recognizes the threat you now pose to his kingdom. But you are not fighting from weakness. You are fighting from the strength of one who has been personally commissioned by heaven and supernaturally equipped for victory. As heaven's ambassador, your testimony carries the weight of eyewitness evidence. When you speak about my faithfulness, people listen because you speak from encounter, not just belief. When you share about my power, hearts open because you testify from experience, not just doctrine. Your life will become a bridge between heaven and earth, demonstrating to others that supernatural intervention is not just possible, but normal for those who live in covenant relationship with me. Through your example, others will be encouraged to expect angelic assistance, anticipate divine intervention, and believe for impossible breakthroughs. My precious child, as this divine encounter reaches its culmination, I am establishing with you an eternal covenant of angelic protection and provision that will cover your life from this moment through all eternity. This covenant is sealed with the blood of my Son, guaranteed by the power of my Spirit, and enforced by the authority of my throne. I covenant with you today that angelic assistance will never be far from your reach, supernatural intervention will never be absent from your circumstances, and heavenly resources will never be unavailable for your needs. When you call upon my name, angels will respond. When you face impossible situations, miraculous assistance will appear. When you encounter overwhelming challenges, supernatural support will manifest. This covenant includes protection from every form of evil that seeks to harm you or your family. Accident angels will guard your travels, ensuring safe journeys and secure arrivals. Health angels will monitor your physical condition, providing early warning of potential problems and supernatural healing for actual ailments. Financial angels will oversee your resources, protecting your investments and multiplying your income. I covenant that your children and your children's children will benefit from this angelic covering for 1,000 generations. The spiritual atmosphere you have established through this encounter will become a family inheritance that passes from parent to child, creating a legacy of supernatural blessing that will impact your bloodline throughout history. The guardian angels assigned to your life through this covenant are not ordinary angels but members of my elite force, seasoned warriors who have never lost a battle, experienced messengers who have never failed a mission, and skilled ministers who have never missed an assignment. They are the best heaven has to offer, assigned to the most beloved of my children. This covenant also includes access to emergency angelic intervention whenever crisis threatens your peace, disaster threatens your security, or tragedy threatens your family. Heaven's rapid response team is on permanent standby for your situation, ready to deploy instantly whenever supernatural assistance is needed. I covenant to send specific angels for specific needs: healing angels when sickness attacks, provision angels when financial pressure mounts, wisdom angels when difficult decisions arise, protection angels when danger threatens, and comfort angels when sorrow overwhelms. You will never face any challenge without appropriate heavenly assistance. Your prayer life is now covered by this covenant, ensuring that your petitions receive angelic advocacy before my throne. When you pray, angels take your requests directly to heaven's highest courts. When you intercede, heavenly representatives support your cause. When you declare my word, angelic forces mobilize to enforce your declarations. This covenant extends to your ministry and calling, guaranteeing angelic support for every assignment I give you. Whether you are called to business, ministry, education, healthcare, or any other field, angels will go before you to prepare the way, stand with you to provide strength, and follow behind you to confirm the work. The covenant includes supernatural multiplication of your generosity, ensuring that every seed you sow in my kingdom will produce harvests that exceed your expectations. Angels of blessing will monitor your giving and arrange for supernatural returns that will amaze you with their abundance and perfect timing. I covenant that your final days on earth will be marked by unusual peace, supernatural strength, and angelic preparation for your transition to glory. When your time comes to leave this world, you will not die alone. You will be escorted by an honor guard of angels who will welcome you into paradise with celebration and joy. But most importantly, beloved child, this covenant guarantees that you will never walk alone, never face challenges without support, never experience needs without provision, and never encounter battles without victory. My angels are now permanently assigned to your success, committed to your breakthrough, and dedicated to your testimony. This covenant cannot be broken by sin, canceled by circumstances, or voided by failure. It is based not on your performance but on my character, not on your faithfulness but on my unchanging nature, not on your love for me, but on my perfect love for you. As you live under this covenant, remember that with great privilege comes great responsibility. Use this angelic assistance to bless others. Employ this supernatural provision to advance my kingdom, and steward this divine protection to fulfill your calling with excellence and integrity. The angel who visited your home today was just the beginning of a lifetime of supernatural encounters, miraculous interventions, and divine visitations that will mark your journey with evidence of my love and demonstrations of my power. You are covered, beloved child. You are protected, provided for, and perfectly positioned for a future filled with glory, breakthrough, and supernatural blessing. The angel has delivered his message, completed his mission, and established your covenant. Now walk forward in confidence, knowing that heaven is actively working on your behalf every moment of every day.